Good evening, Raider Nation. This is Ollie the Writer, the UK Commish. Welcome to episode 15. Thanks for that, Mitch. Welcome to episode 15. It is, I would say a hangover, but it probably is a hangover from celebratory drinks. What a game it was last night. What a fantastic game. We have got the normal gang, plus maybe some more. Don't know. Might show, might not. As always, please, throughout the entire show, we love to hear your comments, your questions. We'll try and get a few more on this evening. So please hit us up throughout the whole night with any questions. Whilst we go through the intros, please start bringing in, letting us know you're here. Those are the words I'm looking for. Let us know you're here. And without further ado, I bring in good evening, Tony.
Sorry. Evening, Raider Nation. How are we doing?
What are you eating? What you got there? What you got?
That's a turnover. Sorry, I thought everyone had a turnover. No.
Love it. You got 5 of them? It comes back and forth.
Not anymore.
Righto. Well, thanks very much. Give us a Raider Nation.
Raider Nation.
Yeah, there you go.
A little bit more enthusiasm there, yeah?
Yeah, a little bit more.
Raider.
I was going to bring Mitch in, but Mitch was walking off cam, so I'm going to bring Mitch in. He was like wandering off, mate. Good evening, Mitchell. How you doing?
How we going, guys?
How you doing? What
I was
a
going to
lovely
go.
Monday it is.
We spent the best part of about 15 minutes trying to think of a really, really quirky show title, and Kenny's come in with the second comment and just put us all to shame with arguably the best show title ever.
I was looking at Simon's apple or raspberry, but
Oh, God, right.
How did we not think of that?
oh yeah,
Great
but
show
that
title.
is good. But to be honest, like it would have made the show name immensely long, and for a really like sidebarring in a plug, there is we now are available on Spotify. Other podcast providers will be coming. The reason I mention that is because we need to change the order of the title because it's all back to front and upside down and way too long for most Spotify screens. But you can listen along if you don't want to look at our ugly mugs or beautiful mugs, however you classify us.
Just go down and do a quick roll call. Go on, carry on.
What?
I thought you'd finished. Carry on.
No, I'm always yabbering on. So you can listen to us on Spotify and other podcasts are coming along. We try and upload the shows the next morning so you can listen to it on your way to work after lockdown, obviously.
On your way to the office? If you've got an office in your house?
Pretty much.
It's not a short podcast.
On the way to your kitchen.
Tony, I interrupted you there. What were you going to say?
Oh, no, I interrupted you. I was just let's have a roll call. Let's actually have a roll call and see what it's about. So, evening to Matt. How you doing?
Evening, mate.
Who else we got in? Obviously, we mentioned Kenny with the amazing show title there. What we got? With Simon in the house.
In the house. Oh.
Kev's about. Hopefully he's got his pants on. That's Stevie McLeod. Look at this. We've got loads of people in. Look, Peter's.
Everyone wants to come and celebrate.
Mark,
celebrate the win.
Loving it. Clive's in. Jed's in. Thank you very much, Mark.
Got my golden comment winner there. Evening, Dale.
Where are you? Where are we? Look, yeah, Dale's in. Can't keep up with this. Who else we got? Oh, look,
Sean.
there he is.
Oh, Sean.
He loves it.
Is that pronounced boyos? No. No, that is a good one. Damn it. I might have to steal it before this gets re-uploaded.
There we go. Just that's Apple. Simon.
It was an apple turnover.
It was an apple. It was an apple turnover. It should have been a raspberry, but I couldn't find any raspberry. So.
If it was from Tesco, it would have been a donkey turnover. Bit of 2015 topical humour there, if you remember.
I get it.
Yeah. Tony remembers. Yeah.
Yeah, I get it. Yeah. Well, let's not go down that route again.
Ollie's too posh for Tesco. He shops at M&S probably.
Cardo, man.
He doesn't even leave the house.
Yeah.
Posh and lazy.
Get my lychee delivered from Ocado. Yep.
Get the butler to bring it in, eh?
Oh dear.
Yeah, I don't want to see any. They come in the side passage. That almost went really wrong. Anyways, right.
Is he stuck in the man cave at the moment?
Yeah. Right. I think it is about time because we're on a schedule tonight, guys. We're on a schedule, so we've got 17 minutes. Even though we were late, and apologise, totally my fault. Chili was totally worth it though, but I think it's probably time we start to talk about what happened at the weekend. So let's have one of these. Oh, dog. There you go. Almost got it. So we kind of went out a little bit here. Got some graphics and stuff here. We jazz it up.
Me and Jeff, give me the ball.
There we go.
Best friend.
Was Donkey Week. Was a good week.
It was. It really was.
Lovely week. So what's your initial reactions? What?
Do you know what? I'm going to start this one off this week because Mitch always starts off with the initial reactions. I like just get it out. Do you know what? That was a great game for a massive dominating game of football like we wanted. And I know we discussed this on the virtual tailgate. Again, plug for the virtual tailgate. Any members out there want to get in the virtual tailgate and join us on a Sunday night?
It's a good crack.
Jump in. It is. So I know obviously last night I did say several times this is kind of dominating football. And then kind of you look at the scoreboard and it's 10-6 and dominating football, isn't it? But even though the score at that point was 10-6, it was still dominating. We imposed our will with them last night. And the second half was incredible. In fact, I know there is a cracking stat which I'm no doubt Mitch wants to bring up.
He's going to
there.
So
I will. I shall. Yeah, leave the floor.
Before Mitch gets going, like to that point, the second half interesting because, like, we came out, it was dominating football. The scoreline wasn't matching it, but that screws up all the graphics, Tony.
It does. You're right.
Note to self. It was really nice to see, though, is that the second half we came out and just boom, it just clicked. Evident again to the common thing that we've been mentioning this year. We have learned to use halftime to make some changes. That was my related comment, Mitch.
And changes we did make. I'm not sure who's wrong, me or Kenny. I did see the stat that in the third quarter, we held the Broncos to 4 plays, totaling 0 yards.
Well,
he's off, Tony.
Sorry.
Yeah.
You get to do the job.
0 yards, 1 yards. We won't argue over spilt milk and all that. But what a performance on the second half. It was incredible. And if you remember last year, did we or did we not have conversations about how we had this third quarter curse where we'd come out after half time and would concede the most points in the third quarter? Nice little insight for you. Last year, we were outscored throughout the whole season in the third quarter, 111 points to 27. That's a horrible, horrible stat line. This year, we outscore opponents in the third quarter, 51 to 19.
He's going straight to the stats. He's going straight to them, isn't he? Boom. I need to start learning this.
I mean, Tony set me up and he pitched it. I smashed
So,
it.
should we hit the stats? I'm just conscious we're on a schedule. That's all.
I mean, I'm easy. We can race through them. We could race through them.
We'll come to the analysis, but the stats would help if I brought it on screen to start with.
We'll get to this one later, I think.
Yes, we will.
Yeah.
So we'll come back to that in a minute, Matt.
So, Tony, take it. I'm choking.
Okay, so points scored. Is that right this week? 37-12. So we beat them by a point this week, yeah?
Yeah, I got the dot on the right side as well. There almost wasn't 60 minutes of football as well, by the way. That was a close one. I think they all add up in the top as well, but we'll find out. Someone quickly do some maths. I can't do countings and run out at 10.
No, I mean, obviously, the passing yards kind of stick out like a sore thumb. Not as much as the rush yards, but obviously 154.
Three big important drops, I think, contributed to that. Yeah, and I think the main stat is totally offense was not 650 yards, so didn't live up to my expectation.
Yeah, you went too far off.
I'd like to know how many teams have hit over 650 yards in one game in NFL history.
Should have been.
The problem is with these passing yards is the fact we didn't get any more than 154 is because we were starting drives on like their 4-yard line. I
don't know if it was something that you said on Saturday or if it was I think it was Saturday's show that you mentioned, Mitch, which was around the passing yards, which was their garbage yards.
Yeah.
It's not like it's garbage time. They're garbage yards. And to be fair, like we started in phenomenal field position almost every single drive. So I can understand why our yardage is quite 7, but there was no.
They can move the ball, but they just can't finish.
Yeah.
Can't finish.
Great.
Yeah.
Rushing, we had that 1-2 punch that we were talking about on Saturday's show, and that contributes to that 203.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, absolutely. Not quite the 150 from JJ, but again, we'll probably come back to that later.
Yeah.
Penalties. Now, I had a feeling that Sunday was turned into a bit of a zebra fest. Zebras like, oh yeah, we want to show up here. Especially
it was laundry day, I think. It was all over the
field.
It
really was. And I just kind of felt like it wasn't that scrappy a game. There were some flags that were due out there, but like the stuff on Abram, total BS.
There's a couple of fisticuffs throughout the game. A couple of little argy-bargies.
Yeah, but not uniformly applied on the punishment initially. New York had to get involved, and then New York went too heavy.
Oh, New York, go, just stop.
Like seriously, someone needs to disconnect the lines to New York. They need to. No.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it was done and dusted at that point. There was 15-yard unsportsmanlike. That was it. Done and dusted. Finish on to the next player. New York went actually.
There was some crap calls out. Some crap no calls out there. From kind of the intentional grounding that we called out. It was throughout the game, and you're kind of like, they're trying to let the donkeys have something here. And it was just crap. It's just crap.
Yeah.
Time on possession. Once again, we're going out there, we're running the rock, so we're going to own the clock. And to be fair, I did a rhyme.
We did do a rhyme.
But I'm going to kind of gloss over that because I expect us now to just own the rock. That's how we're going to win. Unless you've got anything.
Nope. Simon's got a great talking point.
Well, let's go through this and then come to it.
Sorry.
Yours. Now, this surprises me. I couldn't find the under pressure one because boy, little Drew, he was running for his life. for the whole day.
Yeah, he was. He wasn't protected well, was he? And
Protected well, but my gosh, did we find ways to go after him?
And this has flashbacks to the Chiefs game again. Is that, like I said at the tailgate, it was a bit of a joke, and I did have a glass of wine in my hand, but I feel like it was Rod Marinelli in a fat suit and a hat with glasses on, like pretending to be Paul Gunther, because some of the looks we were giving. Cole Nassib, showing blitz off the edge. He drops back into coverage. Morrow comes around and breaks through the middle. He would have sacked him. Drew goes, ah! Does a little thing in his pants, launches it in the air, and Nassib, who did drop back into coverage, has gone, thank you. I'll have that. Then proceeds to stiff arm 2 people into next week. I'm sat there going, this isn't Paul Gunther's defense. But if it is, fair
Damn.
Yeah, like
That defense
turned
5 turnovers. And you all thought I was cracking when I said 3 picks. If I'd said 4 picks and a fumble recovery, you would have looked at me and gone, pick yourself.
And it was 2 fumbles. One of them we didn't get back, luckily for them. It could have been 6.
It could have been.
So, damn, we got a defense.
Paul Gunther for president?
No.
Yeah, I honestly don't get it, but it was spectacular.
It really was.
It got to the point where I wasn't celebrating a turnover. It was just funny. Like, it was like, oh, and another one. And another one. It's like, I remember going through like 6-7 game droughts in previous years where we physically couldn't turn the ball over to save our life.
Yeah, do you know, I the one that really stood out for me was the last one, the quick one. What a pick that was. What a grab that was.
Did you see the picture as well, though? Because if Quick wouldn't have done it, Jeff Heath would have had it. And there's an excellent still where Jeff Heath is like this. And Quick's like OBJ back here. And he's like, you've robbed my hat trick.
So, okay. What else? What we got? Let's have a look.
What do you think I'm talking about?
Let's come back to Simon there. Sorry, Ollie was going to say something again.
No, it wasn't. No, I was going to say, let's get in those comments. So, Simon.
Yeah. So for our non-visual listeners listening on the Spotify platforms, Simon Jordan, I'm convinced now after last night that we should have taken Lamb or Judy before Ruggs.
See, that's something I brought up.
Talk about it.
I'm with you there, Simon. I'm as much as people say he's, what Ruggs brings is the speed. He takes the top off the coverage. We've got a route runner in Renfro. I disagree. This guy is still fast. He's not quite as fast as Ruggs. He's still fast. You can use him to run over the top. He's a phenomenal guy for that deep pattern. He's great. Sorry, I'm talking explicitly about Judy there.
Yeah. And then Matt's come back, which Tony's pulled up again. So Ruggs takes the top off and is forcing teams into a single high safety. He's causing problems without being targeted, which is, I'm going to go against you now, Ollie. Apologies. I think Judy played well last night. Judy was probably the only good thing you could pull away from Denver's whole team, apart from the coach working when they went to leave the stadium. And the thing with Judy is, though, like, he's a polished route runner, and yes, he's fast. But I feel like Nelly is a great route runner and he's fast, and Renfro is a great route runner out of the slot, and Waller is the big tight end who can receive the ball, and Rashad and JJ are catching the ball up the backfield. I think when we look at our weapons on offense, we've got weapons that cover each type of receiver. The only receiver we didn't have was the one that was phenomenally rapid. And I feel like if we got someone like Judy, he's just going to be like, admittedly better than, but like, another Renfro or another Brian Edwards, hopefully in the future, if he bursts out. And we still don't have that guy who can take the top off, which I think if we were using Nelly to take the top off this year, he wouldn't have had the production he's had.
I think you're thinking that Judy's a slouch. He was at the combine. I just looked it up. Ruggs ran it at 4.27, and Judy ran a 4.45.
in socks or in shoes.
This is it. We need to sign Nick Barnes, who does the 4-1, does it 4-1-4 in socks. That's what we need.
No,
Yeah.
I think we need to remember that Judy is still a fair speed merchant out there.
Yeah, but do you want to waste that route running ability with because, like you said, there's a lot of receivers like Hill and whatnot. They'll have 2-3 catches a game because they'll spend the whole time.
Combination, you've got some deep pattern, like tidily run. You've got Hunter and co running tidily underneath. Wait a minute, you're running a really tidy offense at every level of the ball. That's my view.
Yeah,
Tony,
that's literally, yeah, I agree with that entirely.
But there's nothing we can do about it, right? We've got Ruggs. I'm not unhappy with him. Talent.
Yeah. No, I think he's kind of doing what we brought him in for. Have we made the right pick or not? I guess the jury's probably still out. But I mean, I'm completely with you. I'd rather have that tidy route runner. I mean, look at the GOAT, Rice, one of the best route runners probably ever. No.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I think it's going to take a little while for us to get used to that kind of speed out there, but it is what it is. Let's see how the season pans out. More importantly, what happens next season when they've both got a season under their belts in the NFL and they've got that rookie label away, and we'll see.
Okay. Just have a look down even more. We've got Jed changing subjects a little bit. Isaiah Johnson. We said it Saturday, didn't we? Want to see another game?
There goes my hero. No, my hot take. 4 picks, and the guy I picked to get a pick gets ejected. couldn't write my hot takes anymore.
For the most pathetic slap as well. Like he punched him and then ran. He was
already like in motion of spinning around to run off.
It was
following through the punch.
Never mind. I'm not going to condone that kind of activity. Punching people in a helmet is just stupid. I've never understood why people do it. It's what it is.
Yeah.
You'll be able to confirm this though. Apparently, if you slap someone's helmet and it spins, it hurts your neck a little bit.
You've got chin strap. Very rarely spin.
if you slap someone's helmet and it spins round, that's a really poor fitting helmet.
No, as in like
you shouldn't be on the field.
Open hand slapping their helmet and then it twists your head because it fits, not because the helmet spins and the head doesn't. It's not like a magic.
Right.
Yeah. Dicky birds flying around his head.
I was going to say, if your head's spinning around when someone's, or your helmet's spinning around when someone slaps it, you're better off with an Adam's helmet, which is
probably reword. I'd probably rephrase that.
There's a little inside football joke for you. What else we got down? Welcome 7:30 Jay.
Welcome on our new listeners /watcher.
Evening, mate.
He's come to Denver for the last game of the year. Look at that.
Yeah, and I don't know if anyone caught it, but the Raider Nation that turned up, it was good fun. I joined the Broncos Europe guys on Sunday night. And they were firstly like blown away that Raider Nation turned up and just took over the stream. But I've actually forgotten where I was going. Oh, that was it. Yeah, so we were talking about the kind of grudge match when off the scene. We were talking about the grudge match. That will be the end of the season game. And you know, they've really got an opportunity to upset the apple cart. I wanted to go for another phrase there. I'll go for it. Piss on our parade. It really is. You know, they can upset us at the end of the season if they're capable.
Do you think they're capable after last night's shit storm?
Whoa! Let's be careful now, because that is perfectly timed, and I'm going to see if I can time this one up just right. Something's going to go wrong. I know it because I know how short this clip is. So we've got some guests that have joined us. It's going to be good fun. Now, I will ask, Raider Nation, we are known for being fairly loudmouthed and a little bit obnoxious. I do ask that you are totally polite and respectful, because if you're not, we will have to delete your comment or something along those lines. So, without further ado, I've got your names the wrong way around.
Oh no!
There you go.
There you go.
So almost had it as well. So almost had it. It was such a quick interlude. Evening, guys. Thanks so much for joining us.
How's it going?
You really had to put that score down at the bottom, yeah? I mean, really?
I did it especially for you as well. But it's all right. It's all right. You know, at least you're not getting obscured by the guy that picked you off twice.
You called it, mate. You called it.
Evening, guys. Really appreciate you guys joining. This is Michael and Colin from Broncos Europe. They hosted me on Saturday, and I felt it would be impolite not to extend the invitation to have them to join us. But thanks, guys, for joining us. I'll be honest, I don't think I'd have big enough kahunas to come back on if you'd whooped us. But I don't want to kick you whilst you're down, but how are you guys feeling today? Well, how's Bronco World, Bronco Donkey Country, or whatever you call it? How are you guys feeling? What's the general feel?
I think it was like it wasn't. I when we had you on and we did picks, I said I expected the Raiders to win. So it's not like this was unexpected in ways. Didn't expect it to be quite the beating that it was. Didn't expect the defense to quit like they did. But I mean, it's not too in the dim and distant past that you guys used to take a beating on a regular. So you almost get used to it, and you kind of begin to wonder especially for the Broncos now, where the wins are going to come from. And I just picked up at the end in terms of are we capable, after that beating last night. The beauty of this league is that we are capable of spoiling things for the Raiders in the last game of the season. I mean, you look at it really is. We talk about any given Sunday, but have a look at the Bucs against the Saints, then have a look at what they did last night, and then have a look at the Saints have just lost Drew Brees and they seem to be cursed. That's the beauty of the NFL, is that you have to show up, and having a chip on your shoulder. Ollie, I said it to you, Booker, he plays with a chip on his shoulder, and it showed. When you have something, you have that chip on your shoulder, it's possible. But look, hands up, kudos. Raiders were by far the better team on every single phase of the game last night.
Put some credit there. Good job, man.
Good job.
Can I just jump in very quickly and just say, to your point earlier, Ollie, about us, we are respectful. There you go, Stephen McLeod's sympathy. Whether that's tongue in cheek or not, I don't know. But
yeah, you compare the Scottish comments to the ones that have come from our Welsh friends. The one right below that.
You make a point there. We've been in that position where we have had hidings probably longer than quite a lot of teams. So we know what it's like to be getting a kick in. So, kudos to you for coming on. I wouldn't say it was a total kicking, but it was a domination. But this is the NFL. It's any given Sunday. That's what we love about it.
Mm-hmm. I want to pose a question. Go on, sorry.
Is my microphone working? Sorry, I wasn't sure if it was working.
Yeah,
or not, but yeah,
you're good.
Yeah, no worries.
I want to pose a question to you guys as well. We were sat on our little virtual tailgate watching the game together, and we started good. Touchdown on the first drive. You guys weren't falling apart, but plodding along. Come the second quarter, we were honestly tearing our hair out because we were sat there going, we're winning on every phase of football. We're putting points up and yards up, but for some reason we're only winning by 4 points. And then when you march down the field in the 2-minute drill before the end of the half, we were sat there. I called it. I said, they're going to score. They're going to go in at half time. They're going to be 3 points up. And we're all going to sit there going, how has that happened? You're going to get a kick of it. Our guys are going to deflate, go in at half time, come out, and whatever could happen in the second half, we don't know. So I don't want to bring up the horrible thing that happened at the end of that drive, but what were you guys thinking? Obviously from a side where you're like, God, they were probably beating on us a little bit, and then you managed to nearly, go in winning. Were you guys feeling confident then, or did you just feel like you were, holding on by the skin of your teeth?
Is Michael frozen there? I think. I'll say there were a lot of people I think, who, like you, Mitchell, who felt that it was the Broncos were going to score. I wasn't that confident as we marched down. I think the interesting thing about it was probably the call on Fant. I think that was incredibly naive on his part. There were some who felt it was that it wasn't penalty. It was, but equally the defender was looking for it. But he was right to look for it. And I think a more experienced tight end doesn't give away that call, because I think Locke probably didn't need it to get in at that stage. So it was really, really naive, and it cost us big time. And the interception. I mean, what Locke was doing, what he saw on most of the interceptions, you'd ask questions, but he had other options on that, and he really just tried to force it. But yeah, I mean, at that point, it looked like one of those games where, you'd been really in the ascendancy, but hadn't been able to kind of put the dagger through the heart, and that we might do, an Undertaker from WWE and get back up off the canvas. But no, you came off the top rope with a flying elbow and put an end to that pretty quick.
I think the whole game as well, it was just shocking, lads. Like, let's be quite honest. Colin talked there about opportunities and chances. That was men against boys yesterday. Us being I wouldn't even say boys, I would say fetuses almost at that point. Absolutely shocking. And you talking there just at the end of the first half and how the Broncos obviously got down the field and nearly scored. The Broncos at that point in the game didn't deserve to score, because all the Broncos seemed to do in the last, I'm a fan for 10 plus years. I'm not coming out with this, I'm saying this being serious. The Broncos all season, especially in the last 4 or 5 games, have done sweet F all. And I can say this because I'm on a different show. They've done sweet F all for most of the game, and then suddenly, boom, whether it's the end of the second or end of the fourth, oh look, they've got the ball down the field. I mean, there's one thing in saying there's injuries and stuff, but geez, I mean, it was really disappointing yesterday. So obviously, hats off to Oakland, to San Diego, to San Antonio. I won't even mess with that. Hats off. Great victory, but that interception.
Which one? There was 4.
The one at the look. It was the one at the end of the second. I tell you what, though, that could have been easily 60. And I, honest to God, I said to Colin yesterday, we watched the game against the Eagles for us a few years ago. Colin, it was 50 odd. That should have been 60 yesterday, and almost maybe it should have just been 60, because there's still people, Broncos fans, that think there isn't a lot of issues going on. All they have wrong with them is injuries. So God help them, keep the faith, I guess.
You guys thought I was crackers when I came over and I said 46 to 16, and I said, and you're going to get a garbage time touchdown, and the rest of them are going to come from field goals, and we're going to get 3 picks. You looked at me like, oh, it's crazy.
Just conscious of your time here, chaps. Firstly, it was quite interesting what you said about Noah Fant, actually, because we said exactly the same thing. We dodged a massive bullet with that holding call. There was no need for that whatsoever. And we on the virtual tailgate, it was like, so yeah. But we've actually got a question from chat directed at you guys. So where are we? There we go. Sean Quinn. Do you think Drew Lock is the answer?
We probably, I don't know if we differ on this now. We were both very much believers in Drew Lock, and I think Drew Lock is a smaller problem than Vic Fangio is a smaller problem than the ownership issue that this franchise faces, that no one in Denver can talk about.
Yeah.
There's a court case going to happen to decide. There's a trust in place at the moment. That's all tied up. So you've got the team treading water. You've got a head coach who I just think, a little like Wade Phillips, was a great defensive coordinator, is out of his depth at head coach. You see that at times. You saw that last night. He can't juggle too many things. Like what was he accepting the penalty for? Like, I mean, if you wanted to take calls that you got gimmies, like what was that about, lads? Like, and
I'm glad you guys picked up on that, because we were like, what did they just do?
That's the type of stuff that, like, he's been around the league long enough to know not to do that. He does that because of pressure, because he can't deal with being a head coach. So for me, in terms of Locke, if you look at the guys, the young QBs around the league who are flying, take Murray at the Cardinals, probably the best example, right? What the Cards did was they looked at that. They wanted to they were bringing in a new head coach. They bought in completely. So they tossed Rosen, who they had invested in. They went and they got him Murray, and then they built around Murray. So they built to his strengths, and they surrounded him not just with weapons, but with experience. So you've got Larry Fitz there, one of the top wide receivers to ever play the game, has been around forever, and just can put the arm around the shoulder. And then they gave him Hopkins. If you look at Herbert, he has Keenan Allen and Mike Williams. Even Tua has Devontae Parker. So to me, Locke is one of the minor issues, but one of the other things that stands out is if you look at the teams that they've gone after QBs, right? The Cardinals went and they took Murray early. The Chargers went for Herbert. The Chiefs went up to get Mahomes. We waited for Drew Lock to fall to the second round, even though we needed a QB. Like, everyone knew that Joe Flacco wasn't the answer, right? So we knew we needed a QB, and yet we sat in our hands until he fell, which doesn't, and I don't think we've put him in a good position to succeed. I think it's less on him, and I think he's trying too hard. But Michael, I think may at this point have a different opinion.
Drew Lock stood there, or sat on the touchline yesterday with 2 minutes to go, and he was laughing. So, I mean, if he doesn't care, why should I, lads? Just going with college, I was very much on the first class part of the training for the Drew Lock train, lads, the last 2 years. I'm very much leaning towards the fact he's not the answer. I'm not going to be. I mean, I've very much been for him. I think there's a number of different issues at the team, and we sort of talked about it yesterday a little bit, Ollie. Like, obviously, you're looking at John Elway. There's a court case there as well with the ownership. Von Miller's contract next year. Don't be surprised if Von Miller makes a move somewhere else in the AFC West. I'm sure every one of you lads would take him at his full fitness. I think the Broncos are coming to the end of a cycle that should have ended 5 years ago, and it's quite painfully embarrassing to watch right now. But look, it is what it is, and that's what's so beautiful about the NFL. It comes around in cycles, and we will have our day again, as we say here, and hopefully, please God, the AFC West will still be a contest between us three, including the Chiefs. Because if it would be fantastic to watch, I think. And you see this whole week 17 talk. I'm not bothered. I just like, yeah. I mean, if that's what we're, Colin, I mean this in a nice way. If that's what we're reverting to now, like, I mean, the Broncos would almost be better losing that game, getting embarrassed for something to be done, but they don't care. So, I mean, it is what it is. But look, lads, eventually we'll be back. I'm not like a Liverpool fan here, but maybe 10 years, 5 years.
Yeah, it's good because, I mean, obviously, growing up as a Los Angeles Raiders fan, and remember the kind of the golden age when the AFC West was the division in the NFL. It's so much better when the AFC West is competitive top to bottom. So much better.
And I think it's coming back. You know, yeah. Herbert looks like no clown down there. Even though that team's going to merge anyway, but that's for another episode. But Herbert's no clown down there. You know, you guys are going to sort your strife out. And you know, top to bottom in your organization. We are in that process ourselves, and well, the Chiefs, I just hate them.
It's an interesting point. It's an interesting point made as what that you mentioned about setting quarterbacks up to succeed, and this might be the proof in the pudding that Drew Lock is not the guy, because I'm looking at your team. Melvin Gordon at running backs, no fall. Jerry Jeudy is arguably the best receiver out of the draft. Tim Patrick, I think, solid. Noah Fant's a great tight end, despite a certain holding call. He's got weapons there more than other teams have.
I don't think that's... If I was sitting there in an orange jersey, I look, I've got to doff my hat to Drew Lock. We beat the crap out of him yesterday. And granted, he was laughing at the end of the game, but it was cooked, man. Like, that had passed. So good on him that he could actually put a smile on his face. And the fact that he was hobbling around, but he was still getting up off the deck after knocking him around, picking him off, making him look like a fool. But he's still getting up and he's still going out there. I think you said that they're going to have to carry him off the field. That was a quote that he'd said. But that's an admirable quality, that he is going to give everything he can. And he's a mobile guy. He's going to get hit. He's got a big arm. I wouldn't count that guy out if I was a Donkey fan. It's never happening. As much as I love the color orange, it's never ever happening. But I wouldn't count him out, mate. I think he's all right.
Yeah, but then you look at, like, you know, he gets a fourth or fifth
career against the Raiders.
Yeah. And the fourth or fifth hit he gets yesterday, and then the head coach is like, "Oh, you know, Brett Rippon, you better start practicing your throwing and get warmed up a little bit. You might be going in some point soon," which we did see. But yeah, the fact he just got up and carried on. And you know, I think as a fan, when you're losing, it's easy to look at someone on the sideline laughing and say, you know, that's not good. But we've had problems with Carr like that before. We said it a few weeks ago. We wanted Carr to be up and down that bench when the D's on the field, hyping his team up and, you know, getting them ready to go. Now, obviously, probably telling a knock-knock joke isn't the way to do it, but, you know, you want to see that some kind of leadership on the sideline. I'd rather see him laughing with his teammates than sat, you know, with his head in a surface like we used to see Derek Carr do before.
Sorry, go on, carry on.
I just in terms of the other thing that, like, while I have big questions about Fangio, we brought in, I mean, if you want to look, the Broncos decided in our infinite wisdom to bring in Pat Shurmur as offensive coordinator. I mean, this is like, you know, I mean, the game, I talk about, the game has changed so much, even I think in 5 years. Pat Shurmur is a dinosaur. And so when you look at, say, what we gave Philip Lindsay 4 touches yesterday. Philip Lindsay touched the ball 4 times. A guy who has 2 back-to-back 1,000-yard seasons, and you give him the ball 4 times. Melvin Gordon, it hasn't worked. They've utilized him in really strange ways. You would feel that surely Lindsay would be your maybe first and second down back. Melvin comes in on third downs. He's obviously a better pass catcher, but they don't seem to utilize him in that way. And the decision making in terms of what the offense does, like you saw some of it yesterday, right? At one point, we were backed up. Melvin Gordon was actually getting stuff going. And what did they do on third and 1, right? And they go for a pass action, which, in fairness to Drew Lock, he didn't do a Cam Newton and shy away from trying to get the ball back, but he got absolutely annihilated. Having a turnstile at right tackle. We've tried a traffic cone, we've tried a snowman. Now we apparently have a turnstile. I think that Locke, he had a really bad game yesterday. Don't get me wrong, but like, that line is awful. We were told that Mike Munchak was a wizard. I have yet to see it, gentlemen, because we are 18 months into Mike Munchak in Denver, and it is every bit as bad. And this is a team that had Menelik Watson, and so I've seen him at right tackle, and I know what a bad right tackle is, and this is infinitely worse. So the Broncos at the moment have all sorts of issues. But if you took the Dolphins 2 years ago, they had all sorts of issues. The Cardinals had all sorts of issues. It's possible that it gets turned around. I don't think it gets turned around next season, much to your glee and delight, because John Elway has 1 more year left on that contract. He's not going to be fired. So there's 1 more year to play out.
There is a rumor, Colin, and this is breaking news, actually. If he loses more than 10 games, he's out.
Another irrelevant news segment.
I hope it happens for our sake, probably not for your sake, but apparently if we lose 10 or more games, he has to walk away. Never going to happen. He'll lose 9 and then he'll win against the Raiders last week of the season.
Mic drop.
Yeah, that's what I was going.
I thought you genuinely done that. Like, yeah, that's what I'm saying. Mic drop. I'm out.
We've got another question in the chat, chaps. If you're up for it, or
yeah, let's do another, and then we'll allow you I think the last hour to bask in the glory of the win. But yeah, let's go to the top of the hour.
It's going to take more than an hour to bask in the glory. But anyway, from Kev up in Scotland, is John Elway the answer at GM? Which was a great segue from your last one. So.
Yeah, that's just been answered. I think.
Well, like again, the interesting thing is, right, and this is why there are a few people in Broncos country in the Denver media who will tell you, oh, you can't change it because it's a rebuild. It's another 5 years lost. John Elway came in when the Broncos were at a really low ebb, right? And it turned it around immediately with Tebow. Tebow went to the playoffs with the Broncos and beat the Steelers. I mean, so you can turn things around, but the magic that he had at that point and his first 5-6 years as GM were incredible. You had that win, that Tebow, then Peyton Manning rocks into town, and we were just, it was the glory days. So he was to use that American phrase, the winningest GM at that point. Obviously, at this stage, it's all gone horribly wrong, and which we're not making the playoffs. The Broncos will become the first team to ever win a Super Bowl and not make the playoffs for 5 years afterwards. So setting all sorts of records on the other side of it. So someday it'll be a fascinating study to look at the first 6 seasons, and if he does next season, you'll have 6 seasons afterwards. So to compare and contrast those, but we've seen nothing in the last, after the Super Bowl win, we went from, and in the lead of Super Bowl, great free agencies, terrible drafting, to the last 2 draft classes have been pretty good, but the free agent signings have been absolutely terrible. You sent King our way as a punter, and you would imagine, right, coming to Denver in the Mile High City, we got Juwan James. We've had 63 snaps from Juwan James and have paid him $50 million for the pleasure.
I think we've got a better cost to snap ratio with Trent Brown, haven't we? 3 snaps this year, 21.5 million.
You're obviously talking here about the Las Vegas Raiders. 2010, 2011, John Elway went to Vegas and he flew all his chips out. And he got lucky for a few years. He got very lucky with Peyton Manning, clearly. Decent team built around him. That team struggled offensively to win the Super Bowl. Great team, defensively, probably one of the best ever. Brock Osweiler carried that team for half that season. I'm just watching Colin's face here while I say this. John Elway, since that season, I mean, you can give him, let's give him 2 years out of that. So there's another 3 years on top of that. It's been shocking. I mean, the man is God's gift to earth in Colorado, so you can't slag him. If we were to slag him on Twitter right now, we'd lose about 1,000 followers. He needs to go. But the reality is, lads, if you're sitting there getting paid, nobody can fire you. I mean, you're not gonna leave, right? The whole thing is a disaster. I would actually guess on this show live right now, eventually when the ownership situation is sorted and whenever Elway's contract is not renewed when he walks away, that the Broncos will win the West within 5 years of that. Because whenever there is efficient management there, maybe whenever Cal Shanahan comes in eventually, whenever Joe Allison was gone, who knows what can happen. But right now this team is going nowhere anywhere soon. And it's just soul destroying to watch. Like, can you imagine having a post-game show yesterday, Colin? Having to talk about that to people.
And then all your Raider fans join in.
I usually popped in and started talking about it.
I was like, oh, they've gone live. Quick, get in there.
He's all popped up at the same time. I was like, oh, here, come on.
No, kudos to what you guys are doing. I know you guys have got a dash. You've got a show of yourselves to run off to, but kudos for what you guys are doing.
Are ye beating the Chiefs at next weekend before we head on?
Of course we are.
Yeah. Can't give you any predictions because obviously that's for Saturday's show. But
I understand. But
what I will say to you guys is, look how our defense plays, and then look how we played against the Chiefs. We played completely different scheme because we knew it was a divisional game. Then look at the other games. Then look how our defense played against you. It's a sign of respect that we change. They did a completely different defense for you guys because they have sat down and said we need to have four different defenses. One for the Chargers, one for the Donkeys, one for the Chiefs, one for everyone else. So it's a sign of respect, and you got sniffed out. It is what it is. They did something different. At the end of the day, it's a defense that kept Mahomes at bay. It's nothing to say the world is falling, because a Raider fan is quite used to the world is falling type of complex. So I don't think it's that bad in the donkey paddock for you guys, but good luck for the rest of the season.
I will give another before whoever is doing the music for the Raiders, kudos, because that was quite funny yesterday. I don't know, did you guys see that? The welcome the Broncos with horse with no name. Yeah, that was actually very, very funny.
It's good banter all around. But anyways, thanks very much, guys. I know you guys have got a dash, and I don't want to make you late, but thank you everyone in the chat and the comments. Hats off for joining us, and what you guys are doing over at Broncos Europe is fantastic. I do actually, I'll admit to you, I do follow you on Twitter. So
no!
Get the defector logo.
Right, Michael, we better head out while they sort out this domestic. See you all in week 17.
We'll see you in week 17, lads. Good luck. Appreciate it.
Cheers, guys. Yeah.
Cheers, guys.
See you later, guys. See you later. See you later. Sorry.
Guys, in the comments, thanks very much. That was I thought it was a nice little segment, little interlude. Bring those guys in there. Good guys. Yeah, good guys. I don't really follow them.
He's quickly gone and unfollowed them now after we've given him shit. Frantic mouse clicking.
Anyways, so what I was going to say is
back to
we were going through the stats. I've got more stats and stuff. We're like an hour in. Do we want to still? Is this still cool for it? Because we've got like
we could bang. We could bang.
Let's go. Okay, so
most of us are locked down. Let's go for it.
Speed round. Let's go.
Sweet. Passing.
Really good. Yeah. No red dots, but also no blue dots.
A bit on the low side.
Yeah.
Wait.
Yeah.
We didn't score a passing touchdown. I've only just realised. Wow.
But crucially, we didn't throw any picks either. So
I know someone that gave 4 up. I had to take that shot. I'm sorry, I had to earlier. Which pick? So passing wise, I think DC, nice to see the majority of his completions are not behind the line of scrimmage again. So we're still seeing progress there. We're still seeing, this is 10 plus yards. That is still a downfield pass. So it's positivity. I'm not going to say it still.
Looks like Drew Lock only passes right.
But one piece of defense I have. I didn't catch that, man. You're gonna have to go again.
I said it looks like Drew Lock only passes right.
You're a prick. One thing I will say I said about the deep passing, we've got to remember our field position. Where we started with that ball all day was defense did us a favor, but they didn't do DC's yardage stats any favors. To be fair, most of the time we were starting in their half, and you're not going to be airing it out. So,
Okay. I'm just going to address something very, very quickly there. The two longest were both Wallers. No, one was Ruggs, one was...
Waller.
Was it Waller? Was it Waller?
One was Waller,
well.
one was Brooks.
Yeah, because I know the 20-yarder on the left-hand side, that was the Waller drop that was the missed TD, wasn't it?
I thought that too.
No, Miss TD was. Oh, yeah. Sorry, that was the Ruggs one here.
Yep.
Yeah.
That was the Aguilar one there, right beneath the goalposts. No excuse on that one.
Yes. Yeah. Well,
it was one of that little cluster there, but yeah, that was Waller. No, what was that Waller? No, that was Waller because it was on his inside hip. That was it.
Yeah.
No, not okay. Not okay. The drops on DC was putting the ball within tolerance, I'd say. So should have been caught.
Go on.
Not okay.
Should have been caught. No. We need to address the drops.
Got some numbers for that.
Well,
we need to address the drops and the amount of points we left out on the field because, well, we need to.
So if we address the drops, what was... I'm having technical issues again.
I'll go through it while you sort your stuff out. So we dropped. Oh,
I've got those icons the wrong way around. It wouldn't be a show without me fucking something up. They're obviously on the right.
For those of you that wanted to draft Jerry Gini, apparently we have.
Yeah, that's what it was. I just saw the junior went, yep, I'll have him. And to be fair, Fant's on my fantasy team. So, yeah. But the one thing that I'm picking up from this is actually, and I think this is where my brains were going, this is the correct way around. Because the way I was looking at this is the coverage. Because this is receiver separation. Came back from the cusp there. Did not fuck fun up. So it's receiver separation. So we're looking at the defense here. And look at that coverage.
Yeah.
That is some of the best coverage we've seen.
No, it is. You're right.
Yeah.
And I'm crediting that. Murph said this, didn't he? He said it's a catch-22 because have you got to get the pass? Pass. You got to get the pass rush to help out your secondary, and the secondary need to help the pass rush by keeping people covered. And I think in that game it was the pass rush who really helped out our secondary because, as we saw, Drew Lock spent half the game on his back.
Yeah. Just to address, John Gruden has just gone live, and some other Raider players, but you know where to stay. This is locked in. 9 p.m. Lock in. You know where you want to be. Fair point. We did more than run left.
Don't change the subject. We're addressing the drops and the points left on the field.
Oh shit. Okay, my bad.
Right. So, for those of you who have paid attention during the game, Hunter Renfro had a beautiful kick return for a touchdown. Broke ankles the whole way. Good blocks, but Abram, silly mistake, took 7 points off the board, and that drive ended up with a punt. So that was a straight 7-point loss. And then the Nelson Aguilar drop in the end zone was obviously 7-point loss, but we got a field goal, so technically only 4 points. And then the Darren Waller drop, where he would have took it to the house, again, lost 7 points, got a field goal on that drive, so we lost 4. So in total, 15 points were left on the board, and we punted 4 times during that game, and we still scored 37 points.
Yeah. So we scored 37 points, and we left 15 out there. And the Donkey scored how many points?
12.
You're not getting it.
I'm claiming it. I'm claiming it. My 52-12 prediction, bang on.
You're not.
Bang on.
No way.
Bang on. That's mine. I'm having it.
You're not, because... No.
See, Clive knows. Look at that. Bosh. See?
Matt Berry says the Ruggs drop cost another 7. It didn't, because the Ruggs drop, that drive ended up in a touchdown anyway. So we still got the 7 points from that.
Yeah, but maybe it cost us 7 because they came out and we had another opportunity to score even more points. And now it became 60 something. So your prediction was wrong, Tony.
No, it's not. Let's just agree. Right, okay, let's just compromise here. Yeah, we've left 15 points on the field. The final score was 52-12. I get the prediction right. Uno point to me.
No bueno. So okay. Not having a point. No points. No points for anyone this week.
Fine.
So in terms of the pass rush, obviously we saw a bit more pick and Drew, I know we saw earlier. We only what? What are you giggling about?
Dale's comment on the back of Tony claiming they should have won.
Hang on. There you go. Exactly.
Dale said, "If your aunt had balls, she'd be your uncle." For again, non-YouTube and Facebook video listeners. Excellent comment.
I think what we're seeing with the pass rush is we put Locke under a lot of duress for the whole game. Even if we only got to him twice, I would argue we got to him more than that because he was just throwing balls away and not getting flags. But that's a healthy pass rush right there.
Morrow was bearing down on him, which caused the pick to Nassib. So yeah, you're right there. We were just
This is my favourite graphic we do every week. This one, I like this one.
You like this one?
Yeah, it's got nothing. It's got nothing to do with the fact it's pass rush and stuff like that. It's just every one of these little things that makes it look like the Sydney Opera House. I think it's quite nice. Anyway, continue.
Well, even though how differently the games went for the quarterbacks, Chubb and Reed weren't exactly socially distanced from Carr, were they?
Well, that's what I was going to say. Is they were still honest, but let's not forget that O line is not our full-time O line. That's holding up pretty tidy.
Can I just say, DC number 4 done a very good job yesterday of shifting around and extending plays.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah, and the drops let us down because he did a nice job moving around, extending plays, doing exactly what we needed him to do. Then the other fuckers didn't turn up.
Yeah. So I genuinely think it's time. I think it is time.
It's not. I'm not saying it. I'm not saying it. And for the listeners of this, when you're listening to it, your routine, Tony keeps on putting up behind him. Say it. I'm not saying it.
Say it.
Excellent. No. There's a comment that was made earlier. I'm not going to tell you what it is because I want to quiz you two on a stat line because what else is there to do? Right. Who has had the most tackles so far this year for the Raiders?
Who's had the most tackles this year for the Raiders?
If you had to guess.
Give us a clue. Give us a clue.
He plays on defense.
Play in the box or outside of the box?
Plays on defense.
Inside.
Oh, no, exactly what it is.
Is it in the box or out of the box?
Inside.
I'm going to go Clee.
Oh, well. Simon said Clee in the chat. Kev said quit. No, according to ESPN, our leading tackler is Corey Littleton.
No, that's fucking not true.
And I'm I'm going back to Simon's comment about dropping him. I think the problem is with him. He doesn't look good because he's always the one who's there. So I don't know.
Yeah, but look, just because you're at the party doesn't make it okay. Like
he's got 48.
You pick the punch. It's you're not a cool guy. If he's there and not making tackles, that's even worse than not being there.
But he is. He's made 48 tackles so far in 8 games. Jonathan Abram is one behind him with 47. Joyner one behind him with 46. Eric Harris one behind him with 45.
Are you looking at the right stat column? Is this definitely tackles? This is a whiffs you're looking at, is it?
It's got to be whiffs.
This is tackles.
Show us your source. Show us your source. Don't believe you. Anyways, right. I'm going to keep on moving because, otherwise we are going to be here till midnight. So, the run game. I think it's about time we spoke about the run game.
Mm-hmm.
Dang.
You lost it.
Damn indeed.
I feel sorry for defenses when they got to play our full strength O-line with that 1-2 in the backfield. That's evil. Those two were having a field day yesterday. They absolutely ate for the whole day. Tom Cable for president.
Mm-hmm. Yes, sir.
He is doing a hell of a job opening up holes for those guys. And those guys, let's not just say like it's opening, because they are running hard through there. Like even JJ, like there was the opportunity on the touchdown, the innermost one. Obviously, the other one, he just burnt them to the outside. But that inner one, he could have walked in, but he decided, no, I'm going to hit safety just for shits and giggles. And I love
the Booker one at the end of the game was my favourite, which was actually the longest touchdown run, purely because you could just see that Denver couldn't be bothered by that point. And there was just like one linebacker hanging off of his jersey as he ran into the end zone. And it was like, you guys don't care anymore.
And total respect. It may well have been broken, but he was not defective. I have this discussion with my wife, the difference between broken and, what's the word? Broken and not fixed. But yeah, broken.
What's the difference between broken and fixed? I mean?
Oh man. Fuck, I'm completely out there. But
difference between injured and hurt.
No, well, that's a football analogy. No, it's something. But anyways, you can laugh at my expense. It's all right. I'm not proud.
We always do.
Yeah, it's okay. It doesn't hurt. I just cry sometimes.
Floppy.
But yeah, no, Ingold, you know, he is a huge part of this, and for him to suit up, like
Clive in Dictionary Corner said functional. Is that the word you were looking for?
No, it wasn't.
Oh, Ed's just joined us. Evening, Ed.
Evening, Ed. Bollocked. That's it. No. Bollocked. Thanks, Simon.
So we got Dale in the comments. He thinks he's Palamalu, and he's not.
Palamalu. Do. No.
I had to pick that comment out because I'm a massive Pat McAfee fan. So
yeah,
Troy Palamalu. Yeah, brilliant.
Is that stat speed round dinner?
I think so. We've gone at hyperspeed there.
Cool. Move the sticks. Next segment. What we got?
I'm not ready. Just kill some time. I'm not ready. I got to cue stuff.
Okay. Well, just to run through the predictions and hot takes, we were all wrong. And the best part of being wrong is that Tony's hot take was Josh Jacobs having 150 yards and 2 tutties. And Josh Jacobs had, as the graphic showed, 112 yards. And Tony sat there the whole time going, is he going to get 38 yards in the last 4 minutes? And then he's on the sideline with his cap on, helmet's on the stand. He's like, no, please. And then insult to injury, Booker comes out on that last drive and easily puts up another 40 yards. Close, but no cigar as it goes. I was totally out. Ingold didn't get a TD, and Isaiah Johnson got kicked out of the game.
I think
he didn't get an interception.
I think that's further proof that the organisation actually watched this show, because obviously JJ was well on his way to 150-2, and we were well on our way to 52-12, and they were like, do you know what? We'll pull JJ, so he won't get his 150, and we've done enough to stop the 52-12 as well. Just trolling.
And you think that's what they do? We still have not one successful hot take or prediction in the history of this show. So when we do, I want a fanfare. Oh, sneaky preview. Ollie's muted.
Shall I mute?
Snuck that one in there accidentally. No, I thought. I think you're both right. It was
not for the first time. What?
Just giving you that death stare, man. No, look, I'm not upset. I think it was a great game. I have no reason to be upset. We got a dub and we beat a divisional rival. But on to the next. It's kind of, I think Mitch and I were speaking about this earlier today. It's kind of one of those situations that it's a little bit like, yeah, we won. But I think that the analogy I used, well, it was a stepping stone. That's why it doesn't feel like, yeah, we won.
Yeah, I feel this game was so milquetoast to me that I just
milquetoast.
Yeah.
What the fuck is milquetoast?
I think this is a Brummyism, I think.
Yeah,
no,
go on, mate.
Milquetoast is a word.
No, it's two words.
Brummy dictionary.
It's two words. Milk and toast.
Milquetoast is one word.
You're making shit up, man.
I'm not.
No, your streams haven't stuck. We are stunned.
This
Thank
you,
game
Matt.
was milquetoast.
Thank
I've
you,
come
Matt.
out at that.
Thank you, Matt, in the comments.
Oh, it's spelt really fancy too.
Oh, look.
Milquetoast.
That looks like a word you should be familiar with, Ollie.
It's not what my butler says.
That's the most racist thing ever. You're French and this word's got a Q in it. You must know this word.
It's got no accents on it, no coots or anything.
No
A
umlaut.
timid or feeble person, feeble, inspired, or bland. Okay.
Bland.
Yes,
It was
toasty
feeble
milk is
bland.
quite warm milk.
You know, I'm going to slip this into one of the posts now, like one of the SBUK posts, milk toast. Boom. Anyways, right. So, as I say, we.
Sorry, no, I was going to get you to give a little description, the description of the word, so we're all aware.
No,
Go-
I've got something else ready on my screen.
Okay, let's go. Right.
Any closing comments on the game?
What a win. 3-0 in the division. Can't go negative record in the division. Sweep the Chiefs this Sunday. We'll talk about that Saturday.
Cool.
Yeah. I don't think it was a stepping stone at all. You can't. Oh yeah, we won. None of that. Oh, it's a stepping stone game. No bollocks. We beat the Donkeys.
Don't you feel like
we won?
I don't mean it like that. I don't mean it like, oh, we beat the Donkeys. I'm just thinking about the team and the momentum and what we're building here. To me, it's a progression. We beat the Donkeys. It's a step. Granted, a weaker Donkeys that have been there in past, but it's a stepping stone in that just beating the Donkeys, like, don't go and lose every game now, but it's a point in progression that, yes, we recognize it. It's great. Yes, but not no dancing in the locker room. It's a good win. I'm never going to devalue any win, but
well, on that point, no dancing in the locker room. Have you seen what's going on social media today with the backlash, or not backlash, but the memes of Dewlock dancing against us last year?
Yep.
Hey, yes.
So plenty of dancing to be had, but not in donkey style.
Here's all I have to say for that.
we done with this segment? We done?
Yes, let's move on before we all
a little
die.
bit more. So we are dropping viewers like flies. So anyone that's still hanging around, thank you very much for dealing with our ramblings. It is a bumper session this evening. I'm not going to spoil it. Well, I already have. Cue the cut. So we've been asking for a little while for people to drop onto the website, silverandblackuk. I actually forgot the website for a second there. silverandblackuk.com/record. And you can leave us a message. This is my first shot at trying to get this to work. So if this goes horribly wrong, let me know, because to achieve this, I actually have to go on mute. So it might work. If not, great. But anyways, this is Kev from Bonnie, Scotland. Thanks, Kev, for leaving us a message. I'll give you a shout out.
What's up, guys? This is Kev calling in from Scotland, northern stronghold of SB UK and the worldwide Raider Nation. Just want to call in and say a couple of things. One, what a great show you guys are putting together. Honestly, it's funny, it's entertaining. You're doing a great job. I've watched a lot of podcasts, I listen to a lot of guys. There's some really good stuff out there, and you guys are up there. Honestly, considering the limited time you've been doing it, it's truly fantastic. So thank you very much for the effort you put in. I know it must take a lot of time, so thanks again. Last night's game, second half. Oh my God, what a second half! First half went the way I thought, tight, close game. I thought the Broncos' defense were better than what a lot of people thought. But man, oh man, that second half, we certainly showed what we're all about, and that's where I banged up O-line. Imagine how good we're going to get with Incognito back, Miller back, and eventually when we tell Trent Brown to fuck off out of town and get somebody to play right tackle who wants to play. I take Brandon Parker or even Denzel Good at right tackle over Trent Brown right now. Brown can do one. He ain't no Raider. He's not playing like a Raider. He's not talking like a Raider. He doesn't look like a Raider. He could get beep out of town. Anyway, on to the Chiefs, boys. Let's do this. Let's go out there. It's going to be a tough game. I think it's tougher than the Arrowhead game. But I think we'll win.
Let's go, Kev.
Thanks,
Good
mate.
job.
That is the first one. So if you haven't left a message before, please do. But Kev, I've got to agree with you, mate. And I love the way that you swear at the beginning and then you censor yourself later on. It's like someone walks into the room and you're like, oh, I'm not going to swear on this. But I've got to agree. Fucking Trent, get him out. Get him out of town. He done.
Yeah, I think we've all had this conversation on the pod quite a few times. He's just, you got to feel bad. You know, he's had illnesses, he's had injuries. He's not a small guy to be carrying that weight around with him, you know. Hoping well in his future and in his health. But hot damn, we're paying you $21.5 million a year. We need you on the field, especially when you're that good.
True say.
Yep.
Other than that, yeah. So I think.
Why, Tony?
I think Tony went. He's gone. He's run away. He's gone.
While we try and find Tony in the black hole of the internet, yeah, send us more voice notes in, send us shout outs, give us some talking points. You good, Kev? I can see his comment.
Potty mouth. It's all right. We give out prizes. No, it's awesome to have you guys this evening. I know it's been a fairly long one tonight, but hopefully enjoyable with kind of a different angle, bringing the guys in from Broncos Europe in. And again, thanks for not giving them too much grief. But no, it was good fun. I've had a really good time. I feel like I'm wrapping this one up, and I don't want to wrap it up too early because he's done the undertaking. You're right there, mate. Disappeared for a little bit.
I'm all good. All good.
I'm not sure I want to ask.
Let's move on. What's next, Captain Tim?
What is going on? This is well gone wrong.
I don't know.
Oh,
Anyways,
I'm good.
We're good. Maybe just time for a shameless plug, as always. If you enjoy the show, even if it does go on for quite a long time, if you enjoy the show, share it, give us a thumbs up. And if you really don't, if you're only here for a minute or you're watching it again, you just jumped to this section in the video and you thought, that was crap, share it as well, but on someone's timeline that you don't like, and just say, this is crap, you can watch this crap. But no, we have great fun. Comments are awesome fun. We love having you guys involved. It really is good fun. I'm done with my plug. So if we've got content, go for the content. But if not, we can wrap it.
Could put one bit of content in, which we failed to get in Saturday night.
Ooh.
Right, okay, for the remaining viewers here. Kev actually asked a question Saturday night, and we completely glossed over it.
He did. He asked a belter.
Yeah, absolute amazing question. So, Kev, if you can remember what your question was, unless you've gone. repost it and we'll stick it up on screen. If not, I can remember what it was, so I can just reiterate it. Now we just wait for Kev to type it in.
Yeah, it's not the minute delay.
Yeah, I didn't really think that one through. Right, okay, so anyway.
I'll give it an interlude. Did that kill a bit of time?
Yeah,
I'd
pretty much.
laugh if you just
Saturday night, Kev asked the panel, including Murph, who's sadly not here tonight to...
Stop referring to people like they died. It's the second time you've done it.
I nearly said sadly not with us tonight.
You said he went Ollie. It was like an Ollie. Sadly, Ollie can't be with us right now. He just died in a car crash. What's happened?
Did you ask it again earlier tonight?
I'm looking. I'm scrolling. You read it out as though it's there, and I've found it.
I should read it out as if it was there. What a well-oiled machine.
There it is.
Okay, out of our current squad, who do you think has got the best chance of wearing a golden jacket, which is nicely condensed from Saturday's version, and fits on the screen much better? So that's from Kev Up in Scotland for the entire panel and chat. I believe it was for chat as well. But so
yeah, it's a good question, and it's one I read it and we discussed it and we said we were going to bring it up. I gave it some thought and I gave it some more thought, and I really don't know, because every time I think of one, I go, oh no, that's going to happen. Like you go, oh, Abram, and you go, no, he's going to die.
Sadly, Abram couldn't be with us tonight.
No, absolutely.
At his off ceremony. Just do what they do to wrestlers. Just wait till they die to induct them into the Hall of Fame, so you haven't got to buy them a gold jacket and save the revenue.
Because this is the thing, right? So in my brains, the Hall of Fame they're Hall of Famers, but they're legendary, right? And I kind of feel like with the recent guys that they've been putting in, they're donations. Like they're just, to me, they haven't got to legend status, if that makes sense. Because you think of someone like Fred Bolitnikoff, Kenny Stabler, and you go legend, but to me, like some of the recent ones that they've been putting in, I'm like, no, they didn't revolutionize the game or change the game. They didn't do something that was amazing. Like they were good, don't get me wrong, they were a good player, but so to me, that's what I'm looking at and with our roster, and I'm like, which of you is going to go on a storied adventure? We're going on an adventure. I mean, a storied playing career and change the game, because to me, that's what goes into the Hall of Fame.
Matt Berry's comment is probably the best one for it.
No,
not that one, you donut. Rodney Hudson.
What do you mean not that one, you donut? There was two bloody comments.
Sorry.
I don't know. I don't know if Hudson goes.
Look, Witten will.
Yeah.
But he's not going as a Raider. But yeah, okay, granted, he's on our roster now. But, this is my point. Has Jason Witten changed the game of football?
Yes.
No.
Why, Tony?
No, I no.
He's done it.
Yeah.
To a phenomenal level.
No, he's played solidly and been reliable.
Yeah, it's been a good tight end.
Oh,
what?
I thought we were talking about Rodney Hudson.
Oh shit, we were both talking about Witten.
Arguing the shit.
So yes, what has Rodney done? What has Rodders done?
Phenomenal centre, best centre in the league.
Yeah, I'm not denying that. I'm not disputing that. And has been for a sustained period of time. And could he go into the Hall of Fame? Yes. Would I agree with it? Sorry. Would I be happy? Yes. There's a Raider going in. Would I agree with it? No. Fundamentally, no. He didn't do, which is maybe a little bit of a knock on the lineman, because you'd say, well, what the fuck have they got to do? But No, I just no.
This is the thing. I'm in complete agreement. I think over the last few years, it's been somewhat underwhelming, the Hall of Fame class that's gone in. And it does seem like there's a certain amount of there's just I'm loath to say the word, but it just seems like a token gesture that some people get in.
Exactly. There you go. That's what I want to say about it. It's a little bit like, really, you were a good player, and that's why I wonder if there's a point where they go, right, we're not doing Hall of Fame every year, and we're not taking an active class and a legendary class, and we're not taking this category and that category. We're going to do it every 5 years, and there are 6 spots, and you can't have been in the league for fucking 20 years. How many people really remember your name? How many people?
Yeah.
What?
Simon makes a really good point, actually. I know it's covered up the socials. Carr will hold all the passing records. I don't agree that Carr is anywhere near or should be anywhere near.
How many Super Bowls have you collected? How much have you revolutionized the position of a quarterback?
How many Super Bowls did Terrell Owens get?
Bang! That's exactly it. That's exactly it. Like, great player.
Yeah.
But are people are already forgetting who T.O. was. People are already forgetting who he was. So, but people don't forget who Jerry Rice was.
No.
So that, to my point, like the Hall of Fame, it's a little bit meh. You know, put people in when they deserve to be in there. When you go, you know what? This guy, we can't shake him from our memory. And I'm not saying wait till they die. I recognize them when the guys are alive, because that's a travesty.
That is nail on the head, because how many times has someone already said, "Oh, where is this going in the Hall of Fame?"
We mentioned that before. We mentioned it before, and that man has done jack shit. Does not belong to be there. He, let's be honest, has been surrounded by some of, one of the best tight ends down there, phenomenal running backs down there, and achieved jack shit.
Yeah.
And that conversation about that guy going, but that is exactly it. Is, oh yeah, because he's played for so many years and that's it, he should go in. Why? Done fucking nothing.
If you'd have asked me 3 years ago, Sebastian Janikowski.
Yeah.
And he will go into that Hall of Fame. And they're going to have to get a big motherfucking jacket.
But yeah, no, Seabass, yes.
That's the most recent player I can think who is a dead cert.
But that's absolutely it. I'm afraid on our roster, can I see him?
Whoa. He's the most recent player you can think of that's a dead cert to go into the Hall of Fame?
That's on our team.
Okay.
Where are you going, Tony?
I wanted to go to Canton next year so I could go and watch Seaward be inducted into the Hall of Fame, but apparently Seabass is the most worthy player in recent memory.
Seabass is the most recent player, though. Woodson retired before that.
Yeah.
Okay. Seabass retired in 2017. Well, retired in 2019. Left us in 2017.
But this one up. You're both right. If you look at the question differently, you're both right. Okay? Because everyone knows Seaward's going in. Like, it's a set. So
yeah, I meant the most recent player to play for us. Does that make sense?
Don't dig that hole, mate. I'll just dug you out of it. No, I think that's a good one. Unless, I think we'll take it as a bit of a discussion point going forward. It's a big one.
But yeah, we are definitely going to have to just kind of split on that. Yeah, I get what you say, but I'm not pushing back on that because I'm not milky toast.
It's got milky. It's got a Y in the middle, but you are milky bar.
Oh, cheeky. I'm not though, am I?
For another episode. For another episode,
yes.
For another episode, the old milky bar discussion. Right. Numbers of just so to those guys and gals that are still in the chat, thank you so much. It has been a real blast. I hope you have had a good time and hopefully we've answered your questions. I know we've skipped over a lot. It's been a busy one on the chat. Let us know your feedback on the show. You know, we're still welcome to new segments. We still want to get some of you guys on. For now, if you want to leave a message, as I say, silverandblackuk.com/recording. The topic's over, man. Topic's over.
I know, I'm just hammering the point.
Trying to make a point.
Now I have control.
take your fishing rod out the water.
You know, if you want to leave a message like Kev did earlier, silverandblackuk.com/record, and send us a message. We'd love to play it out. We're done. That's it. This is over.
That's a big show. Thank you.
On
everyone
to
that stayed
Saturday.
the duration.
Yeah, Saturday. Big show. Big show on Saturday. I'm looking forward.
Well, lots of wrestling references tonight.
Subscribe on the YouTubes, like us on the Facebooks. I don't know what you do on
Tony can tell us what you do on the TikToks.
What do you do on the TikToks?
I don't know.
We don't have a TikToks.
Tony's got two TikTok accounts. Maybe he's made us one.
I don't have one TikTok account. Never mind 2 TikTok accounts.
For anyone who was in the virtual tailgate Sunday, you would have heard. So happy birthday to Tony's daughter as well. We forgot to shout that out. She asked Tony to log into the TikTok account, and it came up that you already have an account on this number. So Tony has secret hidden TikTok accounts. So, points if anyone can find Tony's little dances on the internet.
No, it was a good one. Appreciate everyone's. So as I was saying, the what's the one I'm looking for? Spotify. That's the cookie. I don't know what you do on there. Do you follow or whatever?
You can follow, because I'm a user. You can follow, and then you can also set it to download the episodes whilst you have Wi-Fi. So then you can listen to it when you do not have 4G, when you are on a train or a plane or any other form of transport.
I dropped them all down there. Like and follow. Much love. We shall catch you on Saturday. We look forward to it. All right, guys. Tony, anything? You're the closer.
Am I the closer? Am I now?
You're the closer.
Great show. Enjoyed that.
You have been.
Come back Saturday. Well, okay, fair enough. Come back Saturday for the Chiefs pre-game. So other than that, go Raiders.
Go Raiders.
Let's go.